I went into it thinking I'm gonna have time to work out. But you're so emotionally invested, and the dates are so, like, the conversations you're having take so much out of you emotionally that when you have like a little bit of downtime, you just want to kind of like chill and rest.
Yeah.
And yeah, so when they say I love you on like day 5, that's really like
It's a lot goes
6
into that.
months worth of dating by day 5.
I feel optimistic that my person is here.
I don't really give the nice guy a try, but I really want something real.
I mean, this process, there's so many surprises that we don't know coming in. What was the most surprising about this process after you finished it that maybe viewers would be like, what? That happens?
Yeah. How much time you actually spend with the person that you propose to. And how close you can get with them. So when I was just a viewer of the show, I was like, there's no way these people are saying I love you after like
A couple
8 days or something. And you don't realize how close you get with someone when you have no distractions, like no phone, no other people giving you advice outside, like your friends aren't there. It's just you talking for 60 hours straight. We had dates that were like 6-hour days sometimes with one person. 15 hours total dates in one day, like with different girls. And yeah, so when they say I love you on like day 5, that's really like
It's a lot goes
6
into that.
months worth of dating by day 5.
The days are like the days of filming are long because I went into it thinking I'm gonna have time to work out. But you're so emotionally invested, and the dates are so, like, the conversations you're having take so much out of you emotionally that when you have like a little bit of downtime, you just want to kind of like chill and rest.
Yeah.
I'm super nervous about how some of the guys are going to receive the fact that I have a child. Her name's Autumn.
Autumn,
Like,
and what's your name?
Jessica. Sorry.
Jessica.
I mean, I can only speak from like our experience on our season, but it's so real. The friendships and the love and support that you're surrounded by. I went into it thinking I probably wasn't going to make a single friend at all, but really for me that was the best thing I took away from it.
I feel like that was my biggest fear going into it, was like the potential drama that could happen. But, you know, I was proved wrong. I mean, like, the women are phenomenal, so.
Agreed, because you think, you know, like when you think reality shows or things like that, you think catfights, women are not getting along, we're fighting over men. And, I mean, we didn't all fight over men, we all did our best. But at the end of the day, we were rooting for each other. And, you know, now we have lifetime friends and sisters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love him so much. I'm so happy for you. I need to check myself. I was getting jealous.
What love triangle am I in? It's like a love star.
What pissed you off most during your time on the show?
Me specifically?
I'm looking at
I
you.
feel like I was one of the most content people on the show, honestly. I tried to, like, we know what we're signing up for. You're competing with guys that become your friends for the same girl. So I think I know the answer you're looking for, and it didn't piss me off. Like, I signed up for that, and I'm not going to be insulted when my friend likes the same type of girl that I do. Now, if we see something behind the scenes where he was like talking crap about me, then I will be pissed off. But I don't think that happens. And if it does, then I'm wrong. It definitely does. All right, well then we can have a different interview after that happens.
But as far as connections, I mean, Matthew's one of a kind. Connected with him on a completely different level than I connected with anybody else. Clay's just, he's really down to earth and super chill, and he allowed me to be down to earth and chill, and I love that about him. Is our love and our relationship going to be enough? That is my biggest fear.
Clay, why were you so candid about your expectations of what you wanted during this process?
You know, I didn't watch Love is Blind before I did the show. Yeah, I did not watch it at all. My mom was a big proponent of me actually joining the show. And I'm a mama's boy, so if my mom says something, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And of course, like they was moving through the process, so like, you know, that's what it was. But I was pretty much candid, like, hey, I wanted the physical attribute, and I was kind of giving hints too, because I want to have physical attributes. I want my wife to look bad. I want her to look sexy. So I was kind of giving hints, like, hey, if you don't look good or you don't feel confident, I just want to let you know.
Not you
But
said this. You didn't say those in the pod.
I probably did say it in the pause. I probably did. But like, with 80's a stunning, beautiful woman.
So I want to know about the apology. You guys were able to work through things. What was that like for you to go through something like that on international television?
It's not a moment that you expect to go through on TV, having someone break down vulnerable, like in that way, and be very vulnerable with you. You don't expect that, especially from Clay, who came from a very kind of egotistical way when I first met him, to then let the walls down and be vulnerable and be like, I want to experience this with you the right way and go through this experiment with you, and ask me about physical and what you look like that shouldn't have been, top priority.
What would you say helped you continue the process with him?
Clay's he's really down to earth and super chill, and he allowed me to be down to earth and chill, and I love that about him. Being engaged is like a crazy feeling. I just want to relish in this moment.
Who do you think, which guy do you think the audience is going to have the biggest issue with? This is your time to talk a little crap behind the guy's back. Is there someone who you're like, man, I see why you're single, or something like that?
Be me. I'll probably say
I'll probably agree with that answer.
Yeah, I'll probably say me. You don't got to say that. Like I'm very comfortable who I am. So at the end of the day, there's people who gonna like me. There's gonna be people who not gonna like me. I'm 100% myself. I am happy who I am. I'm confident who I am, and I could rub people the wrong way. And I'm definitely probably going to see some of that. But I do think people are going to love the fact that I am authentic. Mm-hmm. So, the people who are not comfortable with themselves or who are not used to being honest and, wearing camera, they might feel like, hey, I don't like this guy. But people who are real with themselves and see that I'm struggling, but I'm going through this process, I'm giving my all, they're going to like me.
I'm excited to see the difference between Clay and Matt and why AD likes both of them, because they're polar opposite people. Mm-hmm. Clay is outgoing and kind of crazy and vulgar and upfront, and Matt is a church mouse in the corner, just a nice guy.
Sipping coffee.
Yeah, just sipping coffee. He's like Clark Kent sitting there. But he's not going to be vulgar and go nuts. That's why I love Clay. I'm the same way. I don't see how she likes both of them.
Matthew and I had a very specific connection. It was very intriguing. He's a man of very few words, and so when I did get to speak to him and when he did open up, it opened up a different world for me where I'm let me dig a little bit and see what this man is about. But as far as connections, Matthew's one of a kind. Mm-hmm. Connected with him on a completely different level than I connected with anybody else.
Jess, I have a question for you. If you had the chance to recreate just one moment or maybe one conversation over again, what would that be?
I wish that, it's not a conversation that necessarily happened. I wish that Chelsea and I would have had the opportunity to have a conversation before she got engaged. I wish I would have been able to tell her my over-the-moon excitement and love and support that I had for her.
Is there one thing or one scene that you wish that you could do over, and that's for all three of you? Is there one thing that you wish you could take back, something that you would kind of do differently?
For me, I probably would have, this is kind of back, behind the scenes. I worked a lot. I had a lot of, my schedule didn't really contrast well with the show.
In the days or the moments where you could come back and we'd be together that night and not chat about, anything, just be together would make a world of a difference.
So possibly just being more transparent with my schedule so I'm able to film with scenes with AD, because I think that was a little bit of an issue with some of our dynamic towards the part 2 of the show.
I'm not apologizing for anything. I said what I said. I did what I did. I'm standing on business. I'm proud of myself.
I think the big thing that I would have probably done, hopefully beforehand, was one of the big topics for us was birth control. Someone I was in love with or in a relationship with was almost always on birth control. That's how it was in the past. And maybe doing a little bit of research beforehand. But I feel also you really don't know a conversation's going to come up like that until it comes up.
I feel for me, it was being very vulnerable about the fact that I'm not on birth control. I feel it can be taken in so many different ways, but it was a conversation that needed to be had, obviously, with Johnny. So I feel that was the main thing that I was mostly nervous about, I would say.
I wouldn't change anything because I love the experience of it, and I definitely learned a lot from it, and I think I was humbled in my situation.
Well, I don't want to walk out there crying, so I'm just going to sit here for a while.
And I think that's probably something I needed, because I haven't been humbled a lot in my life.
This was a humbling experience.
This was a humbling experience, yeah. I've never been denied, especially on camera. With I got to walk out to my friends and be crying after.
Rejection.
Yeah, I'm not good at rejection, but I think I was proud of how I handled it, so I think it's a good thing.
I think my reason for being here was to find you.
I'm in love with a man I haven't even seen.